actually out in my blind. Um, I'm set up in the blind. I got all my decoys out. And again, I don't edit, so it's gonna be kind of hinky-jinky, but your turkey hunting with me this morning. I gotta get my calls ready to go. I'm a little bit late, but Jack had asked me, Jack Greenstock had asked me about, I already did a video, I'll post it later, about locator calls. And my locator call is basically my tree call. Usually where I hunt turkeys, I know they're there. So I don't have to I don't wait for one to gobble or shot gobble it and then go chase it down. I'm 61 with bad back, bad knees, 40 surgeries. I can't chase these birds down. I've shot so many birds out of this spot and it's on public land. It's not that hard to get to. It's about right at a mile hiking and it's uphill coming in and downhill going out, but it's not too bad. So let me get my calls and stuff ready and I'm going to show you how I start. Because again, I don't gobble if I can help it unless I need to pick a fight and have a fight going where I can get a bird in that's hung up. I don't gobble. Right before I leave, sometimes I'll gobble. If I'm with people and we haven't heard anything, I'll gobble just to get one to answer. And then, there's birds here just to show them that we're not in a bad spot. Anyway, let me get this stuff ready. Of course, it's in the last place I look for it. I gotta chalk this thing. And I know that sounds really loud, but it's not as loud as you think. So I'm just chalking it. Get all the shiny spots out. And I got my thermocell going. There's skeeters out. And when I was putting out the decoys, there's a lot of insects out now. And a week ago, the insects hadn't started out yet, but it's spring. It's a lot greener today than it was a couple weeks ago, obviously. But yeah. Hey, welcome, guys. Nope, we're turkey hunting. And I'll try and answer questions as they come up, but and if I bail on you, it's because I got a bird coming in. But we're on public land in Idaho. And I had to get the thermocell out this morning because the skeeters are out. I always get my little snacks where I can get to them. I usually put them in a different package so they don't make any noise. And I haven't heard a bird yet this morning. But Jack Greenstock had commented yesterday asking me about my locator calls. And I was telling him I don't do locator calls in the sense of shot gobbles and owl call usually. I've done it, but I'm too old to go chasing, birds. I got a blind here I set up. Hey, Monkey Man, how you doing? Austin, thanks. I appreciate it, Austin. I called in a big one of the biggest ones we've shot on opening day for a gal who was 9 months pregnant. But anyway, I figured this was a good way to answer Jack Greenstock's question. I gotta find my face mask and then we'll be good to go. And I've never done this live thing, so cut me a slim slack. It's actually really warm this morning. It's like 50 degrees. And that doesn't happen very often out here. And we're getting kind of late in our season. We got 2 more weeks. I actually like hunting late better because the hens have already, a lot of them have already mated. And so a lot of the hens are off by themselves on a nest. And the ones that aren't are looking to get mated pretty quick so they don't get a nest started too late. And so all those toms and jakes that were henned up with a bunch of hens earlier in the season, they're done. And yeah, those of you that want to hang out, but it's a hunt. I'm going to start calling here in a second. And it could get boring, but hopefully we'll get one to answer. Get him in here. So, I don't know if you saw the it's all set up. Some breaks in it. Yeah, Austin, turkey hunting. Like I said, we got 2 more weeks in the season, and I haven't shot my bird yet. I've taken a few people out to get their bird. So I told my wife, it's Mother's Day. The sun will be over later. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going turkey hunting this morning. It rained a little bit last night, and there's a forecast for rain this morning. So get my diaphragm out. And I'm just going to sit here for about a minute or two and shut up. And then start doing my tree calls. Because those birds would pretty much be out by now. But I'm going to pretend like we got some late hens coming out because of this rain. Because we got rain in the distance over there. But it's 50 degrees. It's really warm. Usually on this mountain it's in the low 40s. I'm shooting a 410. I got one of those Steven favorite single shot 410s shooting tungsten. And man, it drops these turkeys. public land. So nobody's been in my blind. This place is pretty well hidden, but I don't know what went on yesterday. It's Sunday morning, Mother's Day. So a lot of people probably wouldn't be out today anyway. There was nobody up where I park. But I don't get discouraged about it out here because the birds are here. There's a creek down on the bottom. Not the turkeys really go to water like that. They do, but they get most of their water from eating insects and dew off the leaves. There's not a lot of dew this morning. It's actually warm. It's 50 degrees, but it rained last night. So there's puddles and stuff. They don't necessarily have to go down to the creek to get water. But behind me, there's a spot that's probably, I don't know, 70 yards by 40 yards wide that they dust in. And so there's a mess of them that dust in there. And so they'll come up in the afternoon when it dries out. So we shoot a lot of birds in here after 10:30, 11 o'clock. The last couple years we've been shooting them early. That big tom we got open in the morning with my buddy's wife, who was 9 months pregnant. Matter of fact, they're having the baby tomorrow. They didn't want to do it on Mother's Day, but Stetson's getting evicted. But we brought her up here and shot one of the nicest toms we've shot out here. But they come up and that one was shot that one at 7:55 in the morning. But the other thing is a lot of times they'll come in quiet. When it gets later in the season like this, they're still looking for hens. And a lot of the hens have already been bred. So if they hear a hen that's looking for a boyfriend, they'll come running. The bird I shot last year, two of them actually, one with like a 7-inch beard, he came in, he was the biggest, he was the only tom in the bunch, but there was him and 16 jakes. So as it gets later, yeah, there's hens right there. And I like getting a hold of hens. It's like deer hunting. I'm gonna shut up and call this hen. So about 80 yards from me down this hillside, there's some hens down there. They've been, those hens, that group of hens, it might be by herself. I only heard one. And it might be a jake, but there's usually a bunch of hens roosted in here. And like I said earlier, it's like deer hunting. You find the does, you find the bucks, you find the hens. There'll be toms and jakes around somewhere. I might see if I can put this up so you can see the decoys. I was just basically doing this live for Jack had asked me a question about locator calls. And like I could gobble right now with my box call and might get an answer. But again, I don't like gobbling unless I have to. these guys that run around just throwing gobbles out and walking. It's like, I can't do that anymore. Plus, you let that bird know where you're at, and there's no way to sneak up on them in this stuff. It's thick. I'm in a nice opening, and there's several openings in here, but I'm not in the shape. I'm an old man to be chasing turkeys around. And for me, it's like duck hunting. I don't pass shoot. I call the ducks in. And my other buddy that hunts, he likes pass shooting. He'll go through 3 boxes of shells to get 7 ducks. And I'll shoot 10 shells to get 7 ducks, because I don't shoot them unless they're cupped. It's the same thing in here. I like calling them into the decoys. And if you've never done this, it's really, really cool to have a Jake or Tom